old Thai flag, cool elephant, very unique, really complicated, doesn't care. Meanwhile, the new Thai flag, no cool elephant, literally rips off Costa Rica, incredibly boring and basic. I don't know if I agree, incredibly boring and basic. I've always liked that it has 5 strips, but yeah, even I gotta admit this elephant is pretty cool. This is actually the first time I'm now realizing how similar the Costa Rican flag is to the Thailand flag. They just switched the red and blue. Came up with this thing first. Costa Rica in 1848. Ooh, Thailand in 1917. That's almost 70 years later. I was gonna say maybe they changed it just because it was too hard to design every time they had to make a new flag. I mean, the elephant has a lot of details in it, but that argument doesn't work considering all the Bhutan flags that are running around. Back in the 18th century, it was just a red plain rectangle flag. I don't know, I like it. Then they started throwing this ninja star on it or something, then they put the elephant on. They actually only had this one for a few decades. Then they decided to pimp the elephant out a little bit with some nice drip. For 1 year, it was just red, white, which I think is pretty similar to the US. Then they decided to make the middle one blue, which is supposed to represent the monarchy. At least the naval flag still has the elephant. I combine the flags of some countries that have similar names. First, we have Iceland and Ireland. I don't really see where the Irish representation is here, but this still looks pretty epic. And honestly, it makes sense that these two would probably form a union. Next up, we have Austria and Australia. Pretty simple, just throw a kangaroo on it and go with the original Austria design. I'm glad you got rid of the British watermark. There's Zambia and the Gambia, which apparently is the even supposed to be with the Gambia. I just did it right now, with Gambia. Oh yeah, according to Google, it is the Gambia. Even their official name is the Republic of the Gambia. Okay, good. That was one of those weird American things that we were just always saying wrong. So you threw the Zambia bird right here in the middle and decided to make it a little bit more interesting, making them stripes go kind of in a diagonal fashion. We have Slovakia and Slovenia. These two countries are way too close to each other to be having such similar names. They're separated literally by just Austria and Hungary. I actually really like this one. I want to see a union just so they can make this flag up. Although it is giving me some communist Slovenian, Slovakian union vibes just because with the yellow stars. Panama and Canada. I thought that was going to rhyme for a second. This is pretty cool. Finally, Iran and Iraq. I'm glad you kept the black strip at the bottom. I do like the black in the flag. It seems to be mostly like an Iranian redesign, but with the black strip though. This is probably like the most likely to form somehow. Greenland and Antarctica look ducking rad together. The positions of the white strips are the same as the positions of the polar ice caps. So if you look into the meaning behind the Greenland flag, that is what this white up here is supposed to represent. Now, Antarctica does not have an official flag yet, but this is often used. I've also seen this one occasionally pop up. Antarctica is wider with a wider flag, 3x4, and Greenland is smaller and has a narrower flag, 2x3. Did they do this on purpose? Is this what it was supposed to be? Because this seems a little bit too good to be true. Was this non-official Antarctica flag kind of thought about? I don't know. Did they use Greenland for reference? The position of the shapes is the same as their position relative to the 0 longitude. Okay, that's really just credit to the Greenland flag because the Antarctica flag is centered, but yeah, I mean, I guess so. The shapes on the white stripe represents sun and shadow. Whenever there's light in the Arctic, there's night in Antarctica because the Earth is tilted on its axis, so obviously Greenland's getting all this sun, whereas Antarctica's getting almost none of it. And you have the sun up here and then the shadow down here. Okay, a lot of this does seem like coincidence, but it is pretty cool that we're like coming up with these comparisons. I guess we kind of have to go with that Antarctica flag now. Maybe that already is the unofficial official flag since they have it flying right here on the South Pole in real life. Flag of Japan, if there was no atmosphere. Something really feels quite ominous about this. Like it was the last thing they saw in Nagasaki back in 1945. An alternative history flag for a communist Somalia. Very nice, sticks to the original Somalia themes, yet also includes the new communist themes. Red background, yellow star. Currently they're going with the blue background, white star, but man, now I kind of want to see them go communist. I really need to be able to see this as an official flag one day. I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't. Maybe this is also an alternative history where it's South Vietnam beats the North. I mean, I think it has to be right. The 1/64th Irish flag. This is to help represent the 1/64th of my ancestry that is actually Irish. The rest is just all American, pretty much. That actually reminds me, I've not checked my ancestry results in a while. They always update that stuff. I'm definitely more than 1/64th Irish if I remember correctly. Okay, maybe not. They are constantly switching these up so much. Right now they have me only at 2% Irish. Maybe that really is the flag for me, 1/64th Irish. I've had other DNA results give me a quarter Irish though. This is the first time hearing about this. I'm mostly 50% English and then about a quarter Scottish. Of course, that range can be anywhere between 11 and 32%. Meanwhile, the new update, I'm 18% Swedish and Danish. I saw Norwegian before. I wasn't getting Swedish or Danish though. It could be 0, but it could also be almost a quarter. Man, I don't even know anymore. I'm convinced they're just kind of changing it every once in a while, so I log back in and check it out. Oh no, I'm 6% Welsh. Can someone identify this flag, please? That one looks awfully familiar. I feel like I've seen this one before. It's transparent with a weird aspect ratio. Is that 2:3 or I'm not even sure. Okay, I get this as a joke, but I guess some people did not like this thumbnail. You guys know I don't make these memes. I'm just reviewing them. Why are you shooting the messenger? I'm not even Portuguese, Italian, Greek, or Spanish. We just went over that. I do intentionally like to put the most ridiculous thumbnails ever though. It makes it too good. Or at least the most ridiculous memes I can find because it's just so much funnier. Old Libyan flag, simple, unique, doesn't care about other colors. Meanwhile, new Libyan flag, unoriginal color scheme, tries too hard, worse green, copies symbols from other countries' flags. That is true, I never realized it before. It is a worse green over here. I definitely agree with that. I like the black, but yeah, this is a familiar symbol for sure. I'm just trying to get one country at the very least to go back to just the one color flags. Like, who needs tricolors? Let's just go with one. That's like a true Giga Chad move when you only need a color to represent your country. These ones need two though, a Polish pillow costing $30 versus the Indonesian one, which is only $2. That is not right. But luckily all my galaxy brain flag enjoyers out there know how to cheat the system. I mean, you're kind of just buying both flags. Just buy the $2 one. Your pillow's unlikely to stay upright in this position too. It's probably gonna go, wait a second. Put that thing horizontal and then throw this icon in the top left-hand corner. You got Malta. Flag of the USA, but I've replaced the white stripes with the white stripes. Seems like a pretty good replacement if I do say so. Of course, the white stripe being a rock duo. They are an American rock duo from Detroit. Just making sure they wasn't British. I just discovered the flag of this city in Montenegro and I wanted to share it with you. I gotta admit, this one goes hard. The simplicity of it with this weird little bulge here. Why are like cities and counties like coming out with the best flags of all time sometimes? Sometimes they're horrible, don't get me wrong, specifically from the US. Oh, this isn't just any city too. This is the capital and the largest city of Montenegro. They got a flag and a coat of arms and everything. Why did I not know the capital of this place? This Finnish company logo uses typography to form the flag of Finland. And this actually took me a second because I saw the K, the 2 I's, the L, the T, the O, and I realized, wait a second, that's not just 2 I's, that's also the Finnish flag right there. I didn't even realize until right now that the Finnish flag is 2 horizontal I's, lowercase, of course. Dot, line, dot, line. And actually almost all the Nordic flags are like this. I mean, almost. I'm now just realizing the cross for Finland is a lot thicker than a lot of the other places here. Like, look at Denmark, that's really thin. Those are some fat lowercase i's. It took me a second to remember what I was trying to say there. This is literally the first time I'm noticing this. Does Finland have the thickest cross in the middle? Sometimes it's hard to tell because some of the countries, of course, have 2 strips for the cross, Norway and Iceland. Oftentimes they're very thin. Sweden is close. They kind of have it on bold mode, but not quite on bold mode. How do we know this wasn't just some crazy coincidence now that I think about it? I probably would have passed this weird cylinder every day of my life, not even realizing it was the Finnish flag. Then again, this has to be intentional because most of the letters are uppercase, and these are the only 2 that are lowercase. United States flag, but without New Jersey censored. Finally, something censored for the kids. I was tired of always getting demonetized because of New Jersey popping up. So annoying. 113,117 stars and 525 stripes. The most epic American flag. Every time I see one of these, I have like a split second of wanting to test it. Like, I want to actually check to see, are you lying? But I don't think I'm gonna do that, to be honest. I think I'll just take your word for it. Top of the morning to you, hombre. Kiss me, I'm Irish. This seems like an alternative version to another shirt that I had. It was the Italian flag. This one slaps the Mexican icon in the middle. I'm gonna wear this for Cinco de Mayo and for St. Patty's Day. They're actually kind of close by, those 2 dates. Help! My LCD broke and now it's showing me weird bars! I hate to break it to you, but yep, it's time to get a new one. You're not gonna be able to fix this. Did you throw your gaming controller at it? Your Wii remote or something? This is actually a joke made about the original EU flag design. That's right, the European Union almost went with this bar code here. If you look close enough, you could see each individual countries with all the strips, since most of them are using like tricolors. I think everyone is very thankful they didn't go with this. New flag alignment chart just dropped. The doctrine purist, a flag is used as a symbol of a nation, institution, location, or idea. That combined with a structural purist, a flag is a piece of fabric attached by one edge to a pole. That's how we got the French. How about that doctrine purist combined with a structural neutral? A flag is a piece of fabric that can be displayed displayed. The Roman legionary banner is a flag. How about the doctrine purist versus a structural radical? A flag is a flat displayable object. Anything that is flat and displayable. The little red book is a flag. So if we combine doctrine neutral, a flag is used to visually convey information with that original structure purist. We have international maritime signals are flags. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. How about that doctrine neutral combined with the structural neutral? Basically less, the definition for a flag gets like crazier and crazier the more down you go. A now hiring banner is a flag. The doctrine neutral plus the structural radical, a welcome mat, is a flag. Finally, the doctrine radical, a flag must reflect visible light. That is it. Combined with the structural purist, that gives us clothes with clothespins are flags. Okay, doctrine radical versus structural neutral equals a canvas painting is a flag. Bold and brass is the greatest country of them all. Finally, doctrine radical plus the structural radical. I don't even know what we're about to see here. A road toll barrier is a flag. It does look like one, and I gotta admit, simple design. Poland and Indonesia can get away with just red and white. Why shouldn't road toll barriers too? I don't know. It just kind of makes a lot of sense to me. What if flags were actually capes for whenever we finally get a different variation of just Captain America? I'm still waiting for the MCU to drop Captain Mexico. The Ukraine flag, for example, is a flag that sits well as a cape. Yes, because on the back you can definitely identify it is still Ukraine. He's very much Ukrainian Captain Ukraine, whatever. Here's the Seychelles flag, which is definitely pretty epic. Running with it would be pretty giga chat. Israel's flag also looks pretty good as a cape. Now I do say there would probably have to be some redesigns if Captain America decided it was time to wear a cape. This is actually reminding me a little bit of the Ohio flag. Is the world ready for a Captain Ohio? Yeah, best case scenario is just having to rotate them by 90 degrees. And I guess if you have the Swedish version done, you can pretty much do all of the Nordic countries. Okay, now let's somehow try it with the Nepal flag. Oh, so you can do the flag of Nepal as a cape. You just have to make it like a poncho, kind of. That actually works surprisingly well. It's a small cape, but it works. I mean, the Bhutan one was always going to be kind of hard. This is kind of ugly, but you know, it's fine. It gets the job done. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what you were supposed to do with this, but yeah, I guess that's probably the best solution for this whole thing. Oh, Homelander already has something like that with the USA flag, but it's not exactly the way this design is. And big thanks to my patrons. Drew, I forgot to kidnap you. Next date is March 19th, 2023 at 6:30
Boy, do I
PM.
love Arby's.
Drew's Eritrean grandma.
Portugal is not
Drew's
Balkans.
Argentinian
$20
grandpa.
is a lot, Drew.
aPhatNarwhal.
Bryton is the
Caleb,
best. The
H.
Mexicans
Good
and good
old
old
Jack
Ryan.
Traven's annoying
John
friend.
Denver,
Luxembourg
is Sports Girl.
566.
Fresh
Commonwealth.
animations.
RyeThePie.
The Weekend.
The
The Great
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
Twickenhamster.
Carmel Saida and ZaneyBoi.